I am so blessed to be here. What a beautiful community you have. What a beautiful way to come together on a Sunday, to be inspired, to be filled with God's presence, to bring your God's presence to others. So thank you for doing that. I've been watching you online, and I enjoy being with you that way for a while now. And I want to begin with a song. When Reverend Richard asked me to come and visit you this morning, I really wanted to do the first thing that came to mind, to heart, was to do a message on loving the world into healing. And then I realized it was Mother's Day. And then I knew how it fits perfectly together. So I will begin with a song that's called Window in the Wall. And I just want to introduce the song to you. 7 years ago, well, no, 9 years ago, time flies when you're singing. We moved to Nashville. I'm originally from Croatia. Anybody knows where Croatia is? Heard of Croatia? There you go. Thank you. And grew up in Croatia, moved to America at the age of 21. Didn't know anybody. It's a long story, but I was really looking to come to a place where I could be brave and free to rediscover who I was. I was in pop industry back home. And I lived in New York City, Los Angeles, Cincinnati, Ohio, and then we moved to Nashville. And one of the first mornings, the mailman came in delivering the packages, and I have my studies right there. You can see it as you walk in, and he held the package, and he saw my platinum record on the wall, and he said, "Oh, you have one too." And then he said, "So what happened to you?" Because, I live in a little suburban house, and then he told me his story, what happened to him. And then the next day, I went to my son's school, and this guy, Tom Payton, says, "Hey, you're a singer, I'm a songwriter, do you want to write a song together?" And so he and this guy, Eddie, came to my music room, and they said, "Hey, since you're from Europe, we want to," and anybody heard of Eurovision Song Contest? All right, so I represented Yugoslavia then at the Eurovision, and it was just this weekend, actually. Yes, and what was I? Oh, so Tom said, "Let's write you a song for Eurovision Song Contest. And it's going to be about a wall." And I'm like, okay, but the wall, it's been a while. We kind of, we're over the wall. And so, but it was a good idea. And we ended up writing a song about a wall between people. I had at the time struggled with relationships, particularly with my relationship with my late husband. And it was so hard to find that healing point. And so Tom and Eddie were asking, "Okay, so how do we write a song about crushing the wall down?" And I said, "No, if you crush the wall down, all you have is on the other side people feeling like you're going to attack them. People feeling like, all right, I'm going to wait for you. The wall's coming down. I'm going to wait for you with all that I have to protect myself." And I said, how about we write about a window? Maybe finding that window, the tiny little crack through which we can maybe see each other's eye or something, a smile, and then see what happens. So the song came out so beautifully that Tom and Eddie said, "Hey, Taichi, do you mind if we pitch this song to somebody more famous than you?" I said, "Absolutely. The song is so beautiful and so needed in the world." And we just got so blessed that God arranged things so that Olivia Newton-John recorded it with her daughter, Chloe. Here's the song. this world forgotten how to love? Are we blinded by the hate we let inside? No one's giving in or giving up. The lines are drawn and there's no compromise. This isn't where we are. It's time for us to start looking for a window in the wall. Maybe we can see the other side. Find we're not so different after all. Looking for a window in the wall. Sometimes hearts can turn as cold as stone, then become the borders we can't cross. Fertile fields of love where hope has grown slowly start to die when hope is lost. That's where we are right now. We can turn it all around by looking for a window in the wall. Maybe we can see the other side. Find we're not so different after all. Looking for a window in the wall. We're waging war. We've died enough, fighting for everything but love. It's time to heal, to turn the page. So much to lose, so much to save. We need to change. Looking for a window in the wall. Maybe we could see the other side. Find we're not so different after all. Looking for a window in the wall. Looking for a window in the wall. Thank you. We're waging war. We've died enough. Fighting for everything but love. I loved how in one of his sermons or teachings, Reverend Richard brought up just something we all know. We can turn impossible to possible when we choose to. You know, I look at the world. We all have our phones. And I remember, you remember the time when somebody told us, oh, someday you'll carry the computer in your pocket, and you went like, yeah, right. I know there was a time when somebody said, let's go to the moon, and everybody laughed. Ha ha ha, that's, yeah. My son, I have 3 sons, and 2 of them, one graduated from SCAD, one is at SCAD right now, and the youngest is going to SCAD. I know. But my middle child, he's studying UX, and he said to me the other day, my teacher said, you will remember the time before AI, artificial intelligence, and after AI. These things change the world. We can do amazing things, right? Amazing, amazing. You can do amazing things. So why can't we love the world into healing? Why can't we stop the violence? Why? What is it in us, in our human nature, that wants to fight, that wants to hoard, that wants to say, this is mine, it's not yours, when it's really not mine at all? So I looked out the window. Oh, I was going to say, you know, I would have loved if I could do Loving the World into Healing in 7 easy steps. For $12.99, you can have it all. A dear friend of mine came in the other day and said, hey, I have this amazing patch. You put it on and it tells your brain how to send these signals to your body to heal. And I said, but my brain already knows how to do that. All I have to do is be still and know I am God. Meditate and put my body into homeostasis, right? So that the body activates the systems, because it has all the intelligence. And she looked at me and she said, but that's so much work. Loving the world into healing is so much work. When I held my firstborn, in my hands, my mother said to me, enjoy it. It is so much work. It is true. And yet, isn't that the most beautiful gift and the most beautiful calling that we are given? The work. Isn't that what life is about? The journey. My youngest is graduating from high school, and I made him a book of memories. He asked for it. And at the end of the book, I wrote, this is the only beginning, the journey of ups and downs. Follow your heart, it's your best GPS. Pain is a part of it. Beautiful, sacred pain that teaches us compassion. Bumps in the road are part of it. They teach us parts of ourselves that need help and healing. Hardships and struggles are part of it, a beautiful, beautiful part of it, because they teach us how to ask for help. And they make us aware of how different ways that other people ask for help of us. I learned so much about loving the world into healing through motherhood and through service and through gardening. I sat by my window the other day and I looked outside. And I write these letters to my friends, and I send them out every Saturday morning in form of an email. Mothering, the process of loving a living thing into being, nurturing it, helping it grow, supporting its healing, gives us such beautiful clues on how to love our world into healing. I looked out the window and I saw birds picking up seeds and worms. I looked at my flowers blooming. I looked at the little seedlings that sprouted. I didn't do anything. I placed the little seeds from last year's harvest. I only have 2 little beds. Okay, don't let me fool you. I'm a beginner's gardener. But I noticed mothering is comforting, sheltering, and restoring. It's allowing the growth. The earth allows the growth and patiently waits for the growth to happen, not forcing it. Mothering is weaving a blanket of snow so the seeds can get the darkness they need to germinate. It's allowing the ice to melt on its own time. How many times we try to rush our children or people out of darkness, when we know that all we really can do for them is love them, prepare the soil, right? The bedding, the blanket around them, be the presence, and allow them to experience that darkness because they need it for healing. This is why people like patches a lot better. I mentor with Better Decisions. It's an amazing organization in Nashville. We mentor inmates in the women's state prison. And there I met women who carry so much brokenness in them. And I guess when I first started, I was all excited. I wanted to do something. I also volunteer with another organization I want to tell you about. It's Nashville Peacemakers. And its founder, her name is Clemmy Grenly. She's a survivor of sex trafficking. She was trafficked for 30 years. And her life was restored through thistle farms. Now, do you all know about thistle farms? Please look them up. They restore lives of women who were stuck in sex trafficking, addiction, abuse. And Becca Stevens, who is the founder, she treats these women with mothering, with this patience and listening and true healing, unconditional love. Clemmy, who was a part of Thistle Farm, says, Becca gave me a hug before she gave me a bath. That's how we love the world into healing. The broken people in our world, the people who are angry, who end up in prisons because of their brokenness. None of us are born with mistakes. None of us are born with intention to make bad choices. It's the brokenness that gets us in that spot. So mentoring there at the prison, I found myself so impatient. Like, I wish I could do more. I wish I could do more. My friend Clemmy, right, the Nashville Peacemakers, the one that received a hug before she was asked to get a bath, says to me, you gotta let me do my job. Sometimes you have to stay on the sidelines, love on me, and let me love on my people. Don't you rush. Because when we try to love the world into healing, we tend to go into, oh, I know the best. I know exactly what you need. Yeah? Look at the Mother Earth, how she mothers. She never rushes. The seeds know when to sprout. And sometimes a seed will not show up until it will skip a season. I think that's true. At least it's one with my seeds. Oh, there's a tomato. I guess that's from 3 years ago. Mothering is giving and replenishing from the source outside of us, from the sun, the moon, the sky. It's acknowledging that everything is connected and that nothing can exist on its own. That we are not it without this. That we're one. That we're connected. And we are at the point where it says, I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know how to heal my son. I don't know how to get him out of his darkness. I don't know how to fix this. I don't know how to fix that. I don't know what the solution is for this world problem. Tune into the wisdom. But we have to be silent to tune into that wisdom. We have to allow our thoughts, all that we've learned that have been programmed. We have to allow it to just release, right? To just stop for a moment and connect with what's in our DNA. The seed of an oak tree knows how to grow into an oak tree. Do you all know about lamb's lettuce? Do you know what lamb's lettuce is? It's called mâché also. It's this little lettuce that's it's very popular in Europe. And it's the first, kind of like spinach. It sprouts in the very early in a season. And I did not plan for this to be a gardening talk, but my grandmother used to say that these lamb's lettuce, and it's true, I checked it on Google, it has the nutrients that are most beneficial for our bodies after the long winter in which we only used to eat potatoes and beans and legumes in Croatia because we didn't eat anything out of season. How does Mother Earth know what we need coming out of the winter? Very similarly, like a mother's milk changes to meet the baby's needs. It's all so miraculously there. We just have to stop and pause and listen and connect. Then we'll know how to love the world into healing. And sometimes it will mean getting out of our own way. Often, actually, it means getting out of our own way. So, here are the 7 steps. 1, raising awareness, right? On my drive down from Nashville to here, I love this drive. I've done it so many times now. But I love all the hills and all the greens. And you know that part where we cut through the mountain to make the road? It always makes me feel a little bit achy in my heart. We paved the meadows and cut through so many hills. And we build our castles with walls so thick. And we forgot to put the windows in. I love that you have so many windows here. So it's no surprise that people are grumpy inside those walls. When we're stuck in the house with another, we get grumpy, we get frustrated, we get like, okay, I irritable. That's kind of where the world is right now. We're irritable, we're frustrated with each other. So raising the awareness of what goes on in us so that we can heal first, right? Everything starts with, the change in the world starts with you. Raising awareness. 2, listening. Motherhood taught me about listening. I toured with my children for 15 years, raising three sons while touring full time. It was fun. Took a lot of listening. Because I couldn't put them down on nap at 1:30, because at 1:30 we were on the road. So all I could do was listen to their needs and tend to their needs. So listen. Listen to the world. Listen to those that rub you wrongly. Listen to their needs. What are they telling us they need? And then go back to 1, what are your needs, right? Listening. 3, patience. Patience. This is not loving the world into healing. We can't go into a lab or a factory and just, make a gadget that will love the world into healing. Patience. Practice patience. Rest. We can't do anything unless we rest. And trust, in that rest is also that trust, that while we are resting, it's okay to rest. The world will go on without us, and the world will heal also without us. You know, when your child has a fever, you put cold cloth on their wrists and on their forehead, and you let them sleep, and you trust that their bodies will restore themselves. You can't mend a broken bone, only with rest and trust, right? 5, our own healing. When you forgive yourself, when you heal on the inside and you spend time doing the work, the inner work, then we grow in capacity to love and feel compassion and forgiveness for another. 6, practice. Practice, practice, practice. And 7, pray, meditate, draw strength from the source. Draw strength from God. It is free. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to go anywhere. And with this, I believe we can turn impossible to possible and love the world into healing. And it doesn't mean sitting on a yoga mat loving the world into healing. It means in every action we take, in what we say to people, in how we reach out, in how we accept without judgment, how we choose the next right action. Okay, there's a lot of work to be done. But if we focus on the gifts of mothering, of the gifts of patience, listening, awareness, doing the work, it is possible.